Sex sells, and sex sells jeans. Remember this commercial?
You want to know what comes between me and my Calvins? Nothing.
That ad with a very young Brooke Shields in 1980 sparked a heated controversy, and Levi's has stirred it up again. Their new curved jeans are supposed to be for women of every shape and size, but the ads only feature super skinny supermodels.
And joining us now are Jim Cooper, editorial director of Adweek magazine, and psychologist Dr. Jennifer Hartstein, author of Princess Recovery. It's a book that helps young girls accept who they are. And good morning to the both of you.
Good morning.
So
Good morning.
taking off on that, if you will, I mean, are the ad companies being hypocritical in that they're saying these jeans are for women of all sizes, but we continually only see the thin stick models, if you will?
I mean, they absolutely are being hyper, off mark here. Women come in all sorts of sizes, and these jeans, only have skinny models in these ads is really hypocritical.
Not only, though, to be fair, are these skinny women in these ads, they're in every ad. It's hard to find an ad without that, Jen. And how does that play into women's self-esteem and psychology?
Well, it definitely really impacts how we look at ourselves. We base ourselves and compare ourselves as women, starting as young girls, on what we see in advertising, what we see in the media. So this message is really that in order to fit the model, so to speak, you have to look a certain way and be a certain way. Most often that's unattainable. The average size of an American woman is a size 14. That's not what we see in most of the ads we see in magazines and on television.
So that clearly was an uproar when the original ad ran that Rebecca was just talking about, but yet it's almost like, hey, so what? We're still going to do it again. Is that because it absolutely sells and they're not concerned about the young girls and their attitudes?
I mean, these jeans are selling well, and I think this is a bit of a bait and switch on the part of Levi's. The new ads, the models in these ads are still super skinny. There's thin, and thinner, and it's, I think that Levi's is doing a disservice to their customers and trying to, fool women.
I read someplace that the most curvy thing in the ad was the women's ponytails.
Right, yeah.
And I think the other part of that is that the idea of the jeans is fabulous. Embrace your curves. Do what you need to do to feel good in your jeans. And yet it doesn't carry over to what we're doing in the advertising part. So it really is such a mixed message, again, that we're giving to women and to girls.
Yeah, just to clarify, Levi's came out with these ads in 2010. They really marketed the jeans as a size thing. No matter what size you are, you're going to look good in our jeans. Now they're saying, for their part, that this is about curves. It's not about size. They're not looking at particular models of different sizes. Instead, they're happy to stick to their original size models, but what they want to do is market it as a curvy thing. And you're saying, Jim, they're still selling.
They're still selling. Jeans are an incredibly emotional purchase for women. They spend almost 100 hours per pair of jeans doing the research and talking to their friends. But women do come in all sorts of different sizes, curves or no curves,
but
height
they
or no
still
height.
respond. This is what interests me. They still continue to respond positively to the stick thin image in terms of their spending.
Not to these. They're not. But these ads are offensive to many women, and the blogosphere has blown up. That's the one thing that Levi's and other marketers have to understand, that as soon as they make an ad like this, the blowback can be really intense online. And if you go to Twitter and you go to any sort of mommy blogger site, they're getting flamed.
And
Jennifer,
they are.
I know you're championing at the bit to get in here.
Oh, yeah, and I think they are, and I think, no, that's great. I think the thing is that the real issue is there is this dialogue online of where are we as the real women, whatever that might be, where are we represented? And we were talking in the back that this is such a great opportunity. Levi's really could have knocked this out of the park with saying, hey, real women, come to us as this American jean company. Let us show everybody what you are. And the ads, and I'm sorry, but what curves are we seeing if we're using stick-thin people? They aren't curvy. So whether or not we're switching to the idea of curves or not, there isn't a curve. So let's go back to the idea of real women have curves. We want to see what that looks like. And Levi's had this great opportunity to really promote that in a really wonderful, accepting of yourself way.
And now, if people are upset, Jen, what do you think women should be doing when they're looking at these images?
Well, I think what we all have to do when we look at these images, from young girls to women, we have to really look at what's attainable. What is it about ourselves that we think is beautiful? What is it about ourselves that we can really love? And how do we promote that? And how do we embrace that more, rather than always basing it on this idea that the fashion industry or the media is putting out there? I think that's the key, is how do we love ourselves and what we have to offer?
And I know this is a little editorializing, but I honestly hope there will be a change for those young ladies out there who certainly ought to have a good, strong self-esteem. Hey,
Fingers
thank you so very
crossed.
much for being honest.
very welcome.
We appreciate it.
Thanks.